one ordinary family
4 astronauts go up into space and come back forever changed.
will become fantastic. On July 25th.
Your planet is marked for death.
We will protect you.
As a family.
Their greatest strength
Johnny, quit screwing around!
is each other.
I tell you how to drive the ship, don't tell me how to kill sexy aliens!
Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four. Get tickets now.
All right, Flick Talkers, here to give you guys my out-of-theater reaction and quick review on The Fantastic Four Final Steps, which is out now. It's PG-13, and it has a runtime of 1 hour and 55 minutes. Now, this film does star Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Eben Moss Bachrach as Ben Grimm, and Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm. There's a couple others, obviously, that are a little more notable, like Silver Surfer as Julia Garner. Shalabal, I should say. But we'll talk about that. Ralph Innes as Galactus, and Natasha Lyonne as Rachel. Now, let me just give you guys my quick thoughts. So, I had the bar kind of set a little high for this movie just from all the hype, and I really should have took note 2 weeks ago when all the Superman fanboys came out and they're like, this is the greatest thing since whenever, right? Well, they said the same thing about this movie, Fantastic Four, early showings a couple of days ago. So I was going into it with extreme hype. Extreme hype, I mean, can you blame me? When I went into it, a majority of the movie for me was very lackluster, okay? The performances were great, especially from Vanessa Kirby. It's a very family-centric type of movie. I'm trying to understand what Earth 828 is, so if you guys can give some any information, please drop it down below. But we're dealing with a futuristic yet 1960s aesthetic Earth, United States, New York City, and I'm trying to just kind of grasp, my mind around what's going on. How does this tie into the other movies and stuff like that? I don't really know, so please let me know, guys, in the comments below if you guys can. The only Fantastic Four films that I've seen are obviously the ones from the early 2000s, which were, the ones with Jessica Alba and, those characters that we know, and they had a sequel with the Silver Surfer, The Rise of the Silver Surfer, which was panned. A lot of people didn't like that. We get a role reversal switch, or a gender swap, I should say, with the Silver Surfer. I believe Shalabal was actually introduced into the comics. I'm not going to get deep into it because I don't know that much about her lore. I believe it's like an alternate comic. Once again, y'all let me know. I'm here to just give you guys my thoughts on what I feel coming out of it. Very lackluster. Though there were scenes, and I'm not going to give too many spoilers at all, guys, but there's a scene where the Fantastic Four decide to go approach and, haggle. Let's cut a deal with Galactus, so to speak. That's essentially what it is. And they go to him, and Shalabal's there, and that scene is very, very intense. It's a high-intensity action scene. A lot of stakes are on the line. Sue Storm's pregnant at this point, so it's a lot going on. Very intense. Very intense scene. Other than that, that's it. That's all we got. We got a lot of science stuff thrown at us. As far as, this is my experience once again, guys, because I know you guys are going to be like, oh, this is important stuff. You're right. It is very important stuff, but it can be very boring to an audience to just see, the Thing walking around getting, cookies and walking around the city, and he has a little crush that literally goes nowhere, really. It doesn't add anything to the plot. So you get a little bit of these interaction, but I mean, for the most part, it is Reed Richards and, Sue Storm's movie. It is Sue Storm's movie because at the end of the day, family, a mother's love is what saves everything, right? And I understood, and I bought her character. Don't get me wrong. The script was calling for a lot of comedic value, but the comedic timing and no one in my theater was laughing at any of these jokes. It was a very miss of a script as far as the jokes go. They could have left all the jokes out, gave it a little more serious tone, which I think they did for the most part. Something I wasn't used to, at least from the other 2 movies that I saw growing up. Reed Richards is very weak in this movie. He's very unsure of himself. He didn't seem like what I expected maybe from the trailers. He is very smart. And that's one thing I do like about Fantastic Four, or I want to actually remark on. is that if anything, the Fantastic Four are very smart individuals. That's why they can kind of outsmart Galactus, and they can, it's a little more plausible because when you see Galactus and this, the magnitude, the size is like, there's nothing that's going to stop him. Y'all thought Thanos was bad. This is incredibly like huge, this character. And I don't know much about him once again. So to see all of that unfold in some of the spurts of action that we did get, guys, was fine. But like I said, that Silver Surfer, when they first meet Galactus was very intense. And in the third act where they fight Galactus pretty much, y'all have seen all of, it's not much of a spoiler, but you guys have seen all the trailers and all the clips that have been coming out. Now, other than that, like everybody's saying they love The Thing, they love, I forget what the robot's name is, but it's like basically their character, a maid or whatever it is, it's a bot that they have around the house, Herbie or something like that, or Herbert. I wasn't into it. I know this is to sell things just like Crypto was to sell Superman, and I get it. I totally get it. It just wasn't for me. This movie was very underwhelming, and I'm going to be telling the honest truth. Pedro Pascal did his thing in this movie. He did play this character well. And you guys know I've been shitting on Pedro Pascal lately because I believe he's oversaturated and he's weird, in these interviews and stuff like that. But he did his thing as Reed Richards. I'm going to give him that. But I don't like what they did with, this script for him or this. I don't know. It's very, I thought I would like it a lot more than I did. Unfortunately, I didn't, guys, other than a few little action scenes. So I think all that being said, because this is a spoiler-free review, and I don't want to speak on it too long, out of theater reaction, guys, I'm going to give the Fantastic Four Final Steps a solid 3 out of 5. I think if you guys are fans, possibly, of these characters, you will like it. The post-credit scene is already being posted online. I knew this was going to happen. The post-credit scene, I knew what was going to happen in the post-credit scene because they had to introduce another character. And I'm glad for that. I hope this is a step in the right direction to Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday. And that's all we can hope for Marvel. But if I'm being honest, I had more fun with Superman at the end of the day. Even though I think the intensity of like some of the characters in this movie were a little better than the Superman movie itself. Either way, guys, this is not a good year for Marvel, and I'm looking for this is summer Marvel, dude, and it's not a summer Marvel movie. I feel like a lot of kids that walked out of this theater were not even talking about it. Like, either you're gonna like this one or you're gonna fall asleep in it. That's just kind of what it is. If I'm being completely honest, I'm not a Marvel hater. You guys know how much I love Marvel. They've just really fallen off lately. So you guys give me your thoughts, please, at your anticipation level. I would love to hear your thoughts once again. Hit that big thumbs up if you guys care. Consider subscribing today. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm gone. Peace.